Hello everyone, my name is Tim. I'm a second-year art and technology student. After the summer break, we received our new project, which is called Creative Technologies. This project's focus lays mainly in finding out about new technologies that we don't know about yet, see how they work, and create something interactive with it. The only difference to last year is that our teacher's guidance won't be as much as it was back then. However, let's take a look into it. In the first weeks, we were able to explore a lot of different technologies and see which one suits us best. I started with exploring the GreenSock animation platform. It is a library that is used to simplify web animations. Finding out about this, I created a very simple Hello World slogan, and the result looks like this. It was good as a start. Once I had this done, my first idea was to program a website on which I could present my portfolio. I wanted to use these simple animations to make the user experience of my website more attractive. However, continuing to explore other technologies, I found Three.js. It is a JavaScript-based library that is used to create 3D animation in a web browser. On their website, I found some really cool examples about what people created with it. This was the final trigger to make my decision about what technology I want to use for this project. I downloaded the Three.js framework, linked it to an HTML file, and started creating my first 3D objects. It was really a fun experience. I created all kinds of things, like cubes, spheres, cones, etc. and obviously animated them. Through this, I got a basic understanding about how I can set up a scene, create a camera, as well as a renderer, and put things in motion. I developed further and added more user interaction to it. I achieved this by linking the Orbit Controls framework to my HTML, declared what I want to control with it, and updated it in my animation loop. Now I'm able to control the camera movements using my mouse. By now, I was still having the idea of using Three.js to add more attractiveness to my website. However, the next step I wanted to take was letting my camera rotate in a 360 angle around the object that I created. The result looks like this. I created a time variable in which I can control the speed of the camera's rotation as well as a camera lookat function to keep my scene centered. The result looks like this. Having this done and really feeling some time pressure because I really had to go further with it. And if we're honest, developing your own website takes a lot of programming time and a lot of energy that you have to spend on it. So I came up with another idea that I want to recreate our solar system. To achieve this, I created a simple planet structure. I was using an array in which I assigned texture to an object. This took me a rather long time since I had to find a way of working my array around the issue of CORS. CORS stands for Cross-Origin Resource Sharing, which basically is a problem related to browser security restrictions. Anyhow, I managed to solve this problem by using a local host. I was quite satisfied with the look of the result. However, I wanted to add more character to it by displaying the orbit of each planet and obviously make the planet move along this path. It first looked like this, but by adjusting the X positions of orbit and planet, I managed to make it look like that. By achieving this, I had to put everything together: texture, orbit controls, planets, orbits, etc. The result looks like this. On top of that, I added a skybox. The skybox is basically just a big cube that is textured from both sides using a double-sided texture. This represents the environment of being in space. In addition to that, I also added a star field. I created a for loop in which I create spheres whose positions are set randomly across the screen. The next step was about creating the effect of day and night. To know which light source would be the most appropriate one, I conducted some research about different possibilities. The outcome of this research was that a point light would be exactly what I need. In order to really make use of light in Three.js, I had to change the assigned material from basic to Phong. Otherwise, the objects won't be affected by any light source. Further, I grouped orbit and planet together using the group function of Three.js to be able to set their position together. At the end, I set each planet's rotation to make it spin around its own axis. Having this done, the result looks like this. To round things up and give a bit more user interactivity to my project, the last step I took was to add a pop-up box that shows general information about a planet when the viewer clicks on it. I assigned names to every object. Then I created a raycaster who sends a light beam into the scene in order to detect if there is an object placed. Once it recognizes an object, it changes the inner content of the div. So this is how I recreated our solar system. I really did create something without any previous background knowledge. At the beginning, I really had struggles on how I should approach this project, but after all, I really have to say it was a very fun experience. I learned really a lot about Three.js and how 3D animations work in a web browser, and I really enjoyed working on this. Thank you.